I totally lied to you. I pressed it when I said three. Even before you said okay, I was like, click, we're going because we've been sitting here. We had the most in-depth conversation for like the past hour and a half. We were like 3 o'clock. It's now 4:30 almost. We had internet problems. It's a fun time. KJ, I know you've had chaos going on in your life. First off, I love you. I was going to record this one without you if that's what I needed to do, just so that way we had something.
Yeah, I know.
Just so that way you had the support of knowing that I was going to keep it going. But you're back.
I'm back. Yes, life has been handing a bunch of challenges to my little family, but we're getting through them. And health scares are something. It wasn't my own health scare. My wife had a health scare, and I
Yeah,
just feel like her. Sometimes don't feel like her children understand that she's almost 50.
it's hard.
Yeah,
It's hard for the parent to see that the kid's grown up, and it's hard to see the
the
parents
parent.
grown up too.
It's for the kids to see the parents get older too. Yeah, I understand. I can see
It,
it from
it,
both points of view.
like my boss Woody says this thing because I don't think like we even realize how much we grow up or change or whatever,
Hmm.
which is perfect for the topic that we were going to talk about anyway. But like when we go out into this situation, like there's one day where you can no longer do a backflip as you're standing up or on a trampoline or whatever, or walk half a mile, or like, and then you're like, when did I lose that ability?
Yeah. Yep.
And the crazier part about it is you probably will never get it back.
Yeah, it's crazy because there are, aches and pains start to come. You hit for a woman, you hit a menopause, and you start to lose, collagen and this and that and the other thing,
Mhm.
and you have all these things are drying up, like the in between your joints. You got all that stuff drying up, and so arthritis starts to happen, and all these things that happened to you when you were a kid, like all these jammed fingers from basketball and
I'm gonna be
baseball, and
so fucked. Like I'm
yeah.
bad already, but like think of how many times I've broken every single one of my fingers.
Yeah, I mean, you're feeling it already, and
Yeah,
it's just you're in your mid 30s, but it's crazy, like it's just nuts because one day you're fine, and then the next day you have
it's gone.
a challenge. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
I had that today. I didn't even talk to Brie about it yet. I'll blow it here first because I'll blow my wad here first. It's okay. I was taking a shower before this because like I was like, fuck
gross,
it. You know what? I want to
gross.
get in the shower. I feel cold. I'm sitting there washing my leg, and my hand hit like just a lump randomly in my leg, and it's the leg that I've torn my meniscus in. I've been run over by a car with. I have all the problems with my ankle in. I'm like, no, like just fuck. Like no, no, please. It's also the side when they were looking at testicle cancer, that same side. It's
Mm,
like, so it's like, fuck, man. It's soft. It's able to move. There's no pain. So I'm like, okay, I'm leaving this. But like, now I need to pay attention to it. And it's just like when you catch something just randomly where it's like, dude, now I got to pay attention to that too. It's like, fuck, man.
yep, yep. And you don't, we're not. It's not really taught to us when we're younger to pay attention to your body. Like that's not they don't teach you how to care for your body first and foremost and start when you're young. You know,
And
people
they,
learn that off the side and we have health class in school and shit, but we don't get
yeah,
told that it's going to be like this when we turn 40, 50, 35, whatever.
like, what was that? Like, not even a month ago, I took Ava to the skate park. I think we talked about it on the show, even possibly. And you and mom in the group chat were like, yeah, just grab a skateboard and start going again. And my mom's like, well, I'm sure he can. It's like, dude, if I never give it up, if I never stop, I'll be okay. I'll figure it out.
Mhm.
But like, that's my biggest thing. It's like, as I grow up, I look at all three of the kids. I'm like, if you love doing something, like genuinely love it, don't stop. Like until your body says, I can't do this,
Yeah.
don't stop because if you can keep the muscle memory up, the thing that you like doing or whatever, you're not going to lose it. And if you don't lose it, it'll be okay. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people lose like things that they love to do, even, whether it's painting or, playing a sport or whatever, as life happens. You get
Yeah.
kids, you have different things that you have to bring them to and things like that. it's just a whole big identity crisis that people go through. But if you do love something, stick with it, because even if it's for this a smaller amount of time, like you can't do it every day or every week, get that time per month that you can take an hour and start and make some kind of creation or whatever it is that you do. It's important to keep doing that. It's important. And if
You
anybody's
know,
listening to me, please, please, please stretch your
yeah.
muscles like every day. Like, do stretches, because right now
And
I'm
work in the
upset with
things that you
myself when
like
I do.
doing.
Mm,
Like, obviously, I don't know if you have problems with your neck and shoulders and stuff like that. How I was rehabbing my shoulder last year, because I have a nerve disorder and everything else where like I can't get it back once I lose it.
yeah.
If like my muscles build up to the point where it closes off my arm again, I have to have surgery. They're going to tell me, no, complete bed rest. You're not able to do anything with your arm. It doesn't matter if it's your dominant hand, whatever. So last year, I was literally just playing catch with myself off the wall, throwing the ball up in the air and catch, just trying to give myself some sort of like repetitive movement in my arm to build up some bit of the muscle structure I had in my shoulder with
Mhm.
them cutting through everything. It's like, I don't know how the hell this is going to grow. Yeah, we're 6 years out. I was already supposed to have a second surgery to clear this out and clean up the problems I was already having 6 months after surgery. Decided not to do that. And now I'm still here. So, like, just like I remember you in your 30s going out playing softball and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's so weird looking at it and being like, dude, I want to. Like, but also being like, I know I can't. I know I cannot throw a ball consistently that much. But dude, swinging a bat again would be fun. Like when the kids wanted to play catch, dude, it is so nice. But it's also like I cannot do anything structured with it because the second I get a nerve migraine, I have to stop.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It's hard to do those things. And when you have those kind of limitations, that's crazy. And that's a different part of healing.
Yeah.
Speaking of healing, um, but if you were to uh if you were to get better, you know, what were the things that you'd want to do?
Yeah, and I thought that question was so, like, salient and so important. So, the topic for this episode is when you're healing, there's a point where you feel like, "If I heal anymore or if I heal this part of this, what am I gonna lose?" Like, and there's always a cost attributed to healing. And I sent KJ this video, and I'm like, "This feels so important to talk about." I think it needs to happen. It's just making sure that it happens in the proper way. Like this video, like just triggered that question in me because my original like response to it, even before I sent it to you, because I sent it to Bree first, was like, dude, I would lose so much of the personality that like I've grown. Like if I started healing when I was 15, like imagine how different my humor or how I speak is, or like how I interact with the world is. It's just
Mhm.
like the word everything changes the second that you like take a little bit of you away.
Yeah.
Because that's and I think that that's the hardest part that a lot of people struggle with when they're looking at things like traumatic issues and stuff. Like, okay, if I heal from that, what am I losing? Because they don't want to look at this as like the trauma thing is something that happened to you because like that takes away all of your culpability and viability in the situation. It takes away all of the value of what happened to you. But it is genuinely mainly the main reason and main way you heal from it is actually to take the value from what happened to you away from you. It's
Yeah,
just so weird.
it is. It makes you stop. It makes you think. And I challenge everybody to ask themselves this question. Ask yourself the question, and it's going to make you stop. And it should make you stop for more than a second. What part of yourself are you afraid that you're going to lose if you actually heal? Like for me, my thing is grief. And so my healing comes from a place of acute trauma. Like
Mhm.
losing my mom was very quick. And the way it happened, from the time I found out to the time it happened, it was about 6 months only.
Yeah.
And we didn't realize that it was gonna, all happen that quick. But it's a strange question, because we spend so much of our time saying that we want to feel better, but there is this time between whatever it is that happens. There's always an event, and then you have, your own feeling, and it's kind of this void for me. It kind of felt like this
Yeah.
void of I, w- uh, at the moment my mom passed, I was a completely different person.
Mm.
I was a different person when she was sick than when she wasn't sick. So it was an evolution of sorts. But the moment she passed, something inside me changed, you know. Um, and we say that we want to feel better from that, but sometimes people get stuck in that quicksand, I used to call it. We want the anxiety to stop, we want the grief to ease, we
I
want to
think
let go of the anger, but the trauma and the hurt. But how?
a quicksand that me and you've talked about a lot actually
Hmm.
is like once that quicksand became you, you didn't want to let it go because it becomes almost part of self. It's
That's
like,
the
okay,
thing.
I lost my mom. This thing is a part of me.
Hmm.
When at some point that becomes very, very, very derogatory to the person you were or the person you could be at some point.
Yeah, it's like
Yes,
you're.
these things should have impact on you,
Yeah.
but they shouldn't become like the encompassing part of all of you.
Yeah, part of your psyche, I think, becomes uh, safe. They build a home inside that pain, and so there's something. Sometimes that wound, and it did for me. Sometimes the wound it starts to become your identity. It shapes the way you think and the way you protect yourself from that trauma whatever trauma it is. It influences your friendships and your careers and everything around you. It's just like that ripple effect we talked about, you know?
Yeah, I had a realization with this literally earlier this week, and I didn't realize that that's what it was too. But I'm kind of happy to clear this out. So Nick and Maddie went to the eye doctors,
Mhm. Good.
and they both were looked at and tested and everything else. Maddie was looked at. They're like, "Hey, your eyesight's like prisms, and you struggle pulling the pictures together.
Yeah.
Normal, common thing with autism and ADHD kind of stuff. Like, just make it easier so that way it's not on your brain to do it. Let's put it on the glasses and let's see if we can train your eyes to do it." Awesome. Her pressures were slightly higher than what they should be. And then they bring Nick back, who's been told since he was 4 years old that he had glaucoma. And they're like, okay, well, we expect your pressures to be higher than your sister's. And we expect glaucoma to be the answer. And like, let's figure out what's going on. He came back out, and Bree left the waiting room. She wanted to do this appointment on her own. And it caught me off guard that she wanted to do that even. And the fact of how it ended blew my fucking mind because
Good
she
for
went
her.
out as soon as Nick came out of the room, and they told Bree directly, they're like, he doesn't have glaucoma. He's not going to go blind. Like we've been told since he was 4 years old. Like
Mhm.
everybody with glaucoma has a timeline, and we don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but it'll happen. And it's just like, whoa, what the fuck's going on?
Trippy, right.
So I call mom about before they come home because like I wanted somebody to sit in it with me because like this is life changing news. This is like, okay, no, you may go blind at some point, but we're not looking at 30, 40 years old. We're looking at like 70 years old. As long as you take care of yourself and you're okay, you might go later. It totally could happen at some point, but you don't need this diagnosis on you. You don't need to worry about this right now. Just take care of yourself. So he comes inside and he's like, Dad, I have no idea how to handle what I just heard. And I looked at him and was like, buddy. And I don't know if it's just like the positive mindset I have or what. I looked at him and said, you no longer have to worry about the timeline of what you want to do with life. Like gaming and esports and everything. now doesn't have a timeline. You don't have to like worry about your eyes getting so bad next year you can't see the screen. You don't have a timeline anymore. You don't have to like you have to worry as in like you have to take care of it like a normal person would, but you don't have to worry that every day you might not be able to see when you wake up. And he went upstairs. He
That's
didn't
heavy.
even start playing video games right away. He came down probably about 3 hours later. I was sitting here getting ready to work. And he said, Dad, I think I figured out what I feel now.
Okay.
He's like, I feel like I've lost a lot of time because I was afraid. But now that fear is all gone. Now it's not there anymore. It's okay. And it doesn't matter what happens tomorrow. I'm nearsighted, and that's the only problem I got. And it just watching that like click in his head of like, no, things can be okay.
Yeah.
Things can progress and like it's like, whoa. Like obviously something that he's hearing, seeing, whatever is helping him.
Yeah.
Because like that is such a detrimental thing to be told for so long. And then for it just to flip and be like,
No,
you're
that's not
actually
a thing.
okay.
It's not a thing.
Yeah.
I can imagine it terrifying, you know?
It's so wild. It's so wild, man.
Hmm.
And like it like caught me off guard when Bree called me. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, did you misunderstand something? Because like obviously when you're told for so long, you just know it to be true. You expect the worst. You kind of just kind of work through whatever comes. She's like, no, they're going to keep an eye on it. They want their pressures checked every year to make sure that they're not progressing and degrading their eyes. But they're okay. I was just like, whoa, what the fuck is going on?
No, it's completely different than, yeah. It's that's got to be freeing for him, and I'm glad that that
Yeah,
fear, he was aware of that fear, and
yeah,
now that fear is not there. So it's going to be very interesting to see what he does with that because he's already
yeah,
done so much, and he's already such an amazing kid. You know what I mean?
yeah. Like obviously, when there's something like that where it's like, okay, it's not a definitive timeline, but you sort of have a timeline kind of in your head of like, okay,
Hmm.
at some point this is going to happen.
No.
Like I remember sitting there worrying about my when my cancer test was coming back. Like, do I actually have this hanging over my head? Is this actually a worry? Like, you still have that timeline in your head. Okay, well, if this is this, you get like 2 to 10 years,
Hmm.
or you take care of it. That timeline sort of changes. Like, I couldn't imagine having that as a kid.
Yeah.
So, like, dude, I'm so happy for him. But dude, it is so surreal to kind of just like it's a bookend for him because that's what these things are to me. Is like when you deal with something that's traumatic or impactful like that, or like your mom's death, or like anything that we've talked about, they become like the end of a chapter, the end of a story where it's like, okay, this thing is impactful enough to like change the course of what comes next.
Yeah.
When you heal from that thing
Oh
where
yeah.
that thing has impact, that's also another one. And it's just weird.
Yeah. I mean, you can sabotage your own happiness, by,
Yeah.
pushing away things or being like Nick, fearful and, afraid of, whatever it was for him. And now he can move forward, and be able to not be scared and heal from the trauma of thinking he wasn't going to see for very long in his life, and he didn't know when that was going to happen. It was like kind of, like the normal person wonders about when they're going to die. He was told early that he wasn't going to be able to see past a certain age.
And at some
That's
point, that's pretty close. Like, I don't mean that as a like an insult to a blind person, but like
no.
if you're told that as a child, that one day the light switch is going to be turned off
Hmm.
and you don't have control over it. You don't know when it's going to happen. It's just going to happen.
Right.
You don't know if you're ever going to see your nieces and nephews or your kids or your significant other. Like,
Right.
dude, it was like his life had a veil taken off of it almost. Not
Hmm.
because like blind life is like incapable or incompatible with normal everyday life, because it's
No, it's
not.
scary.
It's just different.
It's yeah, it's different. It's scary, and especially for a child, you know. I mean, he's growing into himself as a young, a young adult. He's getting to be, a higher teenager, and he's got a complex mind. So I'm really glad that he was able to push away that fear, and hopefully, I can't wait to see the peace that it brings to him, so that he can become
Yeah.
familiar again, or even familiar for the first time with things he was fearful of, going
It was
forward.
so funny. He woke up the next morning, and this kid asks the same fucking questions every day. It will always be, what is for dinner? When is dinner? And then he will come back downstairs 2 hours later and ask the same fucking questions. But he replaced those day one after getting this news with, Dad, when do I get my glasses? Dad, when do I get my new glasses? Nick, whenever they fucking call me. We don't know yet. They probably just got the paperwork. They haven't even started cutting the glass yet, bud. Your frame might not even be made yet.
Yes.
It was like a new lease on life to him. It's like, I don't even have to worry about when we're having dinner or what's coming, just glasses. And it was
Yeah,
just it was
he's
funny. It made me giggle.
thankful. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm glad. You know, it doesn't have to be his identity anymore.
Yeah.
He
Well,
can let that go.
that was the question that he said in front of my mom. He's like, I've already told all my friends I have glaucoma. Not that they knew what that meant. Honestly, I don't really know what it means, but I knew it meant that I was going to go blind at some point. Now I have to like actually tell them that I don't have to worry about that. My mom's like, buddy, you don't have to tell anybody. Doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Like there's no difference. There's no difference in between you yesterday and you today.
Yeah,
And
but he
that was
feels a
growth for
difference.
her too. And it's just
Sure.
like, whoa, like everybody around us right now is like seeing the world in a different way.
Oh
And
yeah.
like they're healing from little different things. And like as an adult, I haven't seen this before. And like I don't know if you have, or like if this is a common occurrence. Totally could just me being autistic as fuck. But like watching people heal and change, and like even being a slight hand in some of it, it is so weird. Because like you're like, hey, this little thing will change this for you. Please, like look at it and figure it out. And then
Mhm.
you watch them change it, and like they're like, "Holy shit, Zach, you were right," or "Holy shit, Zach, how do I change this?" And it's just like, "Whoa, what the fuck's going on? Everything's changing right now. Everything, like, even with all the negative shit that we've talked about today, even it's like there's so much positive going on right now, and it's weird to like have it all weave together and shit like that. And it's like, what the fuck? And this is like my first time as an adult, like watching there be positives everywhere, and not just because like I perceive it that way. Like things are changing and it's odd.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay for that change to happen. The identity of those people, each person that I can think of has been stuck in their own something, you know?
Yeah.
And it's hard when you have the hidden fears, coming through, like, if I heal, will people understand me, or will I understand me, or will I forget the person that I lost, or does it mean that I love them any less, or am I going to lose my purpose if it was, whatever. And it makes you think, you don't want to lose yourself. um
Makes you feel the change because like this vision of this persona or this person that you are is scary as fuck to change.
oh yeah,
Like why the
everything's
fuck would you want to change it?
yeah, yeah, because you don't want to erase your story. You don't want to dishonor your loved one or pretend like nothing happened. But you can simply give yourself room to become more than your pain. you know?
Yeah.
It's a personal reflection that not many people stop and take the time to do because they're so busy trying to get over that pain in a different way. It's the
Yeah.
running that people do, that I did for so long. You know, I wish more of these social skills and skills on how to take care of yourself better were built from a younger. Um, it's important. It's
It's
important.
hard to realize them. Like, even some of the shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you comprehend this piece almost entirely. You may be able to comprehend like the other person's piece 10, 20%. But you know that the second you walk through that door, you can't go back to today. Like, and that could be a small conversation, that could be a large conversation, that could be a question in yourself. It's really, really weird. Like, and I think the weirdest part about it is as you're healing, the things that you accept from other people will also change.
Oh,
It's not just like
absolutely.
the parts of you that will change,
Mhm.
it's also the parts that you accept or the parts that you receive will
Your
also
boundaries.
change
Absolutely.
because
Absolutely.
the people
It has
around
to.
you, yeah, the people around you won't see those differences. And when they finally do, they might not even like care. They might not even be able to comprehend them. Like there's 50 different answers and it's so weird to like work through some of those situations too. It's like, well, no, when you decide to heal and you're like, dude, I'm letting this go, or I can't let this be life, or like, oh, okay, this person died, this thing happened, this trauma happened, whatever that is, and you decide life is still worth living. Because guess what, people, it is still worth living, regardless of if all of you changes. You are the person that you choose to be. But that doesn't matter if you have a full circle of 180 people around you or you're by yourself. If you are better and you've healed from the things that you needed to heal from and you actually healed, not just heard or I healed and nobody can take it away from me, then you're in a better place regardless of who's standing behind you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's hard. It takes a lot of personal reflection. And again, you got to get to that space first where you're able to look inward and have that personal reflection because I can guarantee the more personal reflection you do, the more you're going to transfer that pain into growth. And
Yep.
growth can be uncomfortable, honestly. And it should be, because
It,
you shouldn't be
it
sitting in
has
that
to be
comfort you're used to.
because
Right.
like Conor McGregor said this. He feels like the fame, the things that he got from winning all of those fights and the money that he got and the fame that he got made it so that way he's incapable of doing his job appropriately. He can't fight. He's getting out of silk sheets and he can't not be comfortable. At some point, you burn out that fire that was in you. You burn out that fight that was in you because you're trying to live for today and just be okay. It's changing what that level of comfort is.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you're
Yep.
at the bottom, it's, oh my God, I need a pack of cigarettes, a coffee today, and maybe a little bit of attention. But when you're 10 years down the road, it no longer can be, I need a cup of coffee, a pack of cigarettes, and not have to do anything today. You can do more, you can give yourself more, and you can make that progress change every day instead of when you realize that it's comfort.
Absolutely. And as scary as growth is and can be, um, at certain times, I think that you need to ask yourself. I challenge you to ask yourself, each and every person listening to this, if you're listening to this podcast for a reason. If you're all healed and hunky dory and happy with your life, you're not listening to this podcast. It's something that you want to benefit from. It's something that you want to take from this to challenge yourself. So if you healed, what are you afraid that you'd lose? Because in my case, to be honest with you, I the only thing I really lost was the deep, dark pain that I was in. Is it still painful? My mother's death? Absolutely. But it's a different kind of pain. I turned a different corner. I have a different connection with uh, her and the situation now. I was able to work through the trauma, be uncomfortable in that growth, sit with myself, stop running, let everything hit me in the back because I'd been running for years and years and years. You know, um, it doesn't erase healing, didn't erase the chapters that came before. And I think that's a lot of the fear is that it's going to erase who you were. Yeah, well, you know what? The moment my mom died, I wasn't the same person, and I'm not the same person today after taking that corner of my grief. Um, I I will never be completely healed or comfortable with my mother passing. But in my healing and in the uncomfortable growth that I felt in looking inward and stopping running and all that stuff we've talked about in the past, I was able to open up a different kind of spirituality, a different kind of relationship with her. And it wasn't rooted in the grief anymore. And that feels good.
Because unlike unlike what happened at first at the beginning, the answer is the right. Whoa, hold on. The answer of what you did at the beginning of dealing with your grief publicly and trying to do something positive with it, the literacy fund, was the correct answer. The things that she taught you, taught me, taught everybody around her, the things that she wanted to do were like talked about and like, dude, it's so weird. I've spoken so positively about her so much in like the past 3 weeks. It's crazy. The fact that we're having this specific conversation, it's weird. But like those things, those impactful things that are around you to you will change what you do and use going forward. Like,
Right.
and that's the thing that I wish that people genuinely understood about death, grief, or life change is like the things that came before today are the reason you are the way you are. They're the things that put the building blocks together. It doesn't matter if it's a memory with your mom, it doesn't matter if it's the memory of your mom passing. It is how you use those tools that you're given from zero until whatever age you are now to be able to take the steps moving forward.
Mm.
It's actually backwards from the way everybody actually takes it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the weirdest part is like everybody's like, oh my God, I need to live for this person. I need to do everything for this person because they can't anymore.
Yeah.
No, doing for that person is actually doing the things that they showed you to do because they've already given you the blueprint. They've already given you the answer. They've already given you the availability to do what they wanted you to do. They wanted you to do you. Your mom wanted you to be KJ motherfucking P.
She did.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
that's who she was. You know, she didn't want you to be Judy. She didn't
Mhm.
want you to be Big J. She may want you to be Big KJ, but that's not her. That's you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's so surreal to kind of look at and like kind of imagine. The parts of you that are healing are not, oh my God, I lost my mom. It's oh my God, I can actually showcase to the grandkids. I can showcase to my wife. I can showcase to the my god kids and stuff like that. The kindness and love that came from this or this thing that I learned from my mom to them. You know, you're the vessel that that lesson comes through, not like I need to hold on to this because it's mine and it was given to me.
Mhm.
And that is where that thing changes. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah, because it's interesting once you start to use your pain and your lessons for building blocks to a foundation. Because your foundation sometimes is rocked during that event, rocked, broken, sometimes it's shattered. And you don't have a foundation anymore. Sometimes that net is just swoop right from underneath you. Um,
Yeah.
but being able to put back together a foundation made from your own lessons and fears and
Exactly.
tribulations, and taking them and putting them underneath your, learning the lesson, sitting with it, putting it underneath your feet, standing on it to make a very safe and secure foundation again for yourself.
A
That's
weird way that I've looked at it, and like this is just, my little headcanon of what life is every person is the Harry Potter of the Harry Potter book of their life. Every person is the boy who lived, because at some point you might not have. Whether that's like one person on one person kind of things, or that's something bigger. Like it's a weird way to look at it, but it genuinely is kind of logical. But it made a lot of sense to me when I started looking at the things that I dealt with. And the biggest, weirdest bookend to me is actually finding out we were pregnant with Madison. And I don't remember if I told this story on this podcast or not. But the day we found out that me and my ex were pregnant with Madison, her and her mom showed up at my house, and we were going to have this big family discussion about this thing. And me and Brooke decided exactly what we were going to do and what our intents were. And we came as a unified front because that's what you're supposed to do. Regardless of the chaos, regardless of fucked up decisions, this is our decision, and we're going to figure out how this works. And I remember looking at now my ex-mother-in-law dead in the face, and she looked at me. She's like, "You're going to be a weekend dad." And I said, "Nope, that's not how this is going to play out. We're going to figure it out, and it's going to be okay. And it may be hard on everybody. And you can even opt out. But we're neither one of us are going to be weekend parents. I've lived that life, and I'm not going to put my kids through that life. They're going to have access to me any moment that they want me. They're going to have access to Brooke any moment they want Brooke. That is how it is, and that's how it always should be. It's weird when you look at things back like that of like, no, I was even doing things like that then. I just really didn't understand the thought process of like, okay, no, when fucked up things happen to you, you realize what they do, and then you change them.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, it's a basic rule, it's a basic lesson, but you don't really reflect at 15 years old of how to actually handle that situation.
No, and if you don't teach yourself or emulate someone who has that knowledge, then you go through life without that knowledge, and you just sit in whatever it is
Yeah,
that's keeping you down, and that's where the quicksand is. That's what I call the quicksand.
exactly. That's why I was saying it's like that quicksand for you is this. That quicksand for me is this, and this. Like,
Hmm.
realize what it's done to you, regardless of if it's grief, trauma, impact, whatever it is. You know what it's done now. You know the positive or negative things that have come from it, and you know how those things have outcome and progressed on you. You're able to then turn those things 180 degrees and start feeding them to other people to help them, because that's what we're here for. Like, and I, this may be weird, especially with our past conversations around like religion and stuff like that. I remember this time, it was one of the times you came back, and Bella, I think, had this fucking big pink Bible that had like weird ass pictures in it. And you kept asking me, "Well, Zach, do you want to know what's going on in here?" Because like you keep like showing interest, but you're not caring. Like you'll come out and try and listen to what's going on and then walk away. So this is probably going to throw you for a shock. But it's almost like we actually have a reason to be here. And guess what? That reason's not fucking us. It's not us at all. Like if you believe in Christianity, it's Jesus, whatever. Or if you believe in anything else, it's the people around you. Like, and even in Christianity, it's the same thing. Like if you take care of the people around you, those people will then take care of you, and then you're able to go to heaven, whatever. Like, obviously, that's a very, very basic understanding, but like, it's weird It's weird to like look at it and be like, no, that's legitimately what it is. Your life is not for you. You get one of them, and you get to give as much fucking impact as you possibly can. And there are some people that will have zero impact and zero care and zero effort. And then there are people that do everything they possibly can. And then there's people that fake it. You have to figure out which one you are. You're still muted. You're still muted.
I am still muted. Thank you very much.
got
I
you.
had to cough, and so I forgot my mute. No, and honestly, if you ever found yourself sabotaging your own happiness or pushing away your peace because it doesn't feel familiar to you, or wondering why the healing is almost as scary as the hurting, it's okay for all of that. Is okay. Use it. Use it for yourself instead of against yourself.
A snake cannot grow without a rock and a hard place. You may be in between the rock and the hard place, but it's the only way that you are going to be able to get through this is to actually cut yourself and push forward.
Sometimes
The
you
best
have to cut off a part of yourself. Yes, correct.
the best part of like life are normally, and this is the craziest thing, are actually how you triumph through the hard times, not the good days. You don't remember that day you went to Great Escape and rode the roller coaster unless it was your first one. It doesn't fucking matter at the end. Type 1 fun is still type 1 fun, regardless of it's fun in the moment and it builds a memory with the person that you're with and stuff like that. But you don't remember it tomorrow. The shit that you did that was hard, the shit that you did that made you grow or change who you are the things that will have impact on you as you move forward.
It builds your character. It's what builds you as a person. So yeah, use it. Use it to change yourself. Use it to better your situations. And it's okay. It's okay to let that version of yourself that's worked incredibly hard to survive move forward. It's okay. You owe it to
And
yourself
it's something I struggle with every single fucking day.
every
That's what
day.
complex PTSD is. You see the triggers of like the consistency over and over and over again, and you're like, maybe it'll be different. And then your fear hits you in the fucking nose, and it's like retard. It's not any fucking different. You can choose whether to listen to them or fix it, but it's still not any different. It's still the same. You're just waiting for other people to pick up the signs. But you can change it. You can show other people that those things are available. You can fix it. You can remove yourself from those situations.
You don't have to do it alone.
Yep. As always, there might be fucking lanterns lit. Or you may be charting a new fucking path that nobody's been through yet. But keep fucking walking, because at some point that light might need to be lit. And the people that might be following in your footsteps might have much smaller feet than you.
Come back and let's walk this lonely road together.
And we'll see you fucking next time.